Welcome back to Bear Tales. It is the 3rd of December, and I'd say I apologise for the hood, but you know, it's still quite chilly up here. It is a wet, rainy day, hence the lights. I'm just going to drop you down a bit because I'm currently working on a sculpture for a video that's going to be out probably at the end of the month, but there's a lot of work that needs to go into this because it's not for a single sculpture, it's for a few different ones. And yeah, basically I'm currently doing all the stuff that I don't need to film because otherwise it's going to be pretty samey footage. So yeah, I'm working on that as best as I can. Whilst I can, the last 2 days I haven't been able to do anything because of how cold it's been. I mean, the frost yesterday morning was so heavy it looked almost like snow. So there was no way I was even going to come up here. Just, yeah, did not need to be up here, but you know, it also meant I lost a day of making, and I actually did an extra day at work again this week, so you know, I had an extra day I lost, full day rather than half day. You know, when I'm at work I plan on doing bits here and there in the mornings before I start work. Yeah, so just kind of trying to make up for lost time as best as I can, and these all need to be roughly the same size. But there's a couple of other things I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, Sherbert's video is well in hand. I have started editing it, but literally I've just put 2 files in the main file. I need to go in and watch them, but at the time I can't remember why I didn't. Well, I think I was watching YouTube whilst, yeah, I was watching YouTube whilst doing it, and only had one set of headphones that I could use, my plug-in ones, because my Bluetooth ones were still charging. So yeah, I need to go in and have a look at that footage, see if, you know, and actually edit it that way. And he's also at a stage where the next part I can work on off camera, which again, you know, is quite handy when I can do that, especially for something like sewing that I can take downstairs with me, and work on it like whilst I'm watching I'm a Celebrity in the evenings. So that's, yeah, that's really good, and I like doing that. You know, I like having something to do whilst I'm watching whatever I'm watching, whether that be TV or YouTube or whatever. There we go. A bit dodgy at the moment, but there's a few more to do. Yeah, so there's that. The next, this isn't the next non-bear project, it's the one after that. But that project is also in progress. I'm probably going to do a little bit in a few minutes once I've got some more of these done, because I don't want to, you know, have finished Sherbert's video and then not have anything to post, or be a long way off from getting the next one done. So there's that. Oh yeah, so you know, I do tend to stress out when I get too much stuff to do, or I have too much stuff to do. You know, I just start feeling overwhelmed, and that's kind of really bad because I don't know where to start, and I kind of don't, and I just kind of end up really sort of meh feeling. That's my best way of describing it. But you know, sometimes it takes me a bit to kind of realise that actually it doesn't matter, and that I don't have to be stressed out. One of the ways I like to sort of de-stress is either in the bath or the shower. You know, just I've always loved water. You know, I haven't gone swimming for a little while because right when I was about to start swimming again is when COVID hit. So, you know, that kind of didn't happen. And I mean, where we are, we don't have a local swimming pool. We've got the sea, but, you know, that's freezing cold, especially at the moment. But even in the summer, it's rarely actually warm. So that's not really an option. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that at the moment. But yeah, it just, if I'm in the shower or the bath, I kind of switch off from everything. Or I can focus my thoughts more. You know, it just depends what my brain decides to do at the time. Can be a bit of both. And today I was able to kind of go, well, actually, I can do this, this and this. You know, I don't have to do it all at once because, you know, that's impossible. But the other thing I was able to kind of figure out, I've been having some issues with my story. You know, I wrote quite a bit yesterday that I was quite pleased with. I didn't write anything this morning. Yesterday was a really difficult day, emotionally, mentally, which I won't go into. But yeah, just the family's going through a bit at the moment. And yeah, that didn't help, and there was stuff that happened at work that also didn't help. You know, so I didn't want to get up when my alarm went off at 7, but then because of that, I then felt really awful for not having written anything. You know, I feel like I'm falling behind, which yes, I am behind where I would have liked to have been at this time of the year. You know, I was hoping to have the first draft completed by the end of the year, and I just hit the halfway point yesterday. But I kind of got a better idea of certain aspects of the story. You know, there are things I've been wanting to include from the original manuscript before I made it fantasy. And I wasn't sure where I wanted to take it with the new fantasy elements. But, you know, again, that was something I was able to figure out whilst I was in the bath, which is really cool. And I was actually reading today, because I've been borrowing a few books from the library, books that I haven't been able to pick up. I get most of my books from charity shops, or the charity bookshelves you see in supermarkets if you're here in the UK. Pretty much everywhere does them now. You know, because books are expensive, and as much as I'd love to buy them new, just at the moment that's not practical. So yeah, I do get most of my books second-hand, but just in this area there doesn't seem to be all that much in the way of fantasy, which is kind of a shame, because that's really what I want to be reading. So yeah, I've been borrowing some books from the library. I've borrowed the second book in the Dresden Files, and that was really good. I actually finished that one. I borrowed Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I didn't get that finished in the time frame. I didn't read as much as I wanted to. Got to under halfway, I think, maybe like the first third of the book. I did really enjoy it, but you know, you've only got a certain amount of time, and I did extend the amount of time I had it for, but you know, I still didn't have a lot of time to read, because it was about that time when I started the new job, plus with editing videos and everything, you know, it just didn't happen. But I have also now, I'm reading, again, that I've hired out from the library, is The Lies of Lochmora. Something Library of a Viking recommended, I think at the start of this year. I can't remember when he first mentioned it, but you know, I'm enjoying it so far. it's meant to go back on the 8th, and I've just got into the first book, because it's like prologue, book 1, I think, you know, within the book, something like that. But, you know, I should be able to extend it, no issue, because so long as no one's waiting to borrow the book, you can extend it, I think, twice after you've hired it. So definitely plan on doing that. Do that next time I'm in town. You can do it online, but we end up popping into the library most weeks, so, you know, I'll just extend it next time I'm in there, as long as it's before the 8th, or I'll just go in before the 8th anyway. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying it, and, you know, trying to find fantasy stories that kind of fit what I'm writing, or even ones that don't necessarily, because my setting is more urban fantasy. You know, it just helps, because at the moment I feel like what I'm writing, it's a good story, but I'm just not executing it very well, and I really want to improve. You know, I've been writing for a very long time, and, you know, I've not published anything really. Again, I will do the writing video at some point and sort of go into that in more detail, but, you know, I really want to publish something, you know, but despite the writing courses I've done or been doing, I don't know what it is. Sometimes there's something lacking in what I'm writing, and I've yet to pinpoint it. The one thing I do know that I often forget to do is describe sort of the setting, you know, where people are, what the weather's doing, and all that. And so when I do the second draft, I'm definitely going to be inserting all of that. But yeah, anyway, that was kind of a bit of a ramble about writing. Onto sculpting, which is what I'm actually doing, is with how cold it's been, it has been pretty hard to work the clay, and it's made me realise that, yeah, I really do need to invest in a pasta machine at some point, probably in the new year, because it is not good for my hands. And as I've mentioned in a previous vlog, I do suffer with wrist pain in particular. So yeah, this has not been helping. But, you know, I'm still enjoying the process. I love sculpting a lot. Haven't done it as much as I probably could. And, you know, I haven't really sculpted a great deal from scratch, like I'm doing now, but, you know, I want to do it a bit more on these non-bear projects. So yeah, I'm doing 2 at the moment, 2 videos, but it's definitely something I want to fit in a bit more. But the other thing I really want to get to in the new year, which I put off for a whole year, I've had this thing a year, and that is the, yeah, you can see it, the Real Twins Hobbies kit. There is something I want to make before I start the video, and that's part of the reason why I've put it off. But I think I've mentioned before, in the unboxing video, I was actually quite nervous to start it because it's quite different from anything else I've done, you know, and I feel like I'm going to mess it up. But, you know, you don't know until you try, and I want to try, definitely want to try. So I'm going to maybe do that in January. We'll see where we're up to. Oh, I'm also going to reprint the template for Bears from scratch, make the minor tweaks that I need to do, and then I can start on the next Bear from scratch project, because I have been itching to do that, but with everything going on at the moment, I've just not had the time. And you know, my original plan for my nieces and nephews. I kind of had to change that because I just realised it wasn't going to work out so well. Not yet. I might be able to do it for them next year. So I'm not going to say too much about it. So, you know, I'm still practicing pretty much with everything. But I just, you know, I like making things for other people. So one more and then we're done. So yeah, I just feels like the right thing to do, to swap it over what I'm doing for them. Because I don't, you know, I know whatever I'm going to make isn't going to be perfect, but at the same time I still want it to look at least semi-decent. But yeah, so, oh, that's a bit of a longer one today. That is it for this one, guys, and I will see you next time.